Hi, this is Davidian of Raquel and Davidian. Let's talk for 3 minutes about an aspect of the sixth line profile. Here are some tips for better role modeling. You are responsible for what you know. Period. This video is true more generally for everyone. However, this is more of a life preserver being thrown out to any sixth lines who are hearing this right now. When you leave the roof post-Chiron, if you're not living as the role model of you, which is to say you living up to the principles that you recognize as being exemplar, or at least striving for that, you are asking to be taken off the board. I'm a sixth line body, so it's my position that role models who do not live out their role model bodies post-Chiron suffer or die physically. Their physical constitution suffers or fails. I presume sixth line personalities, in contrast, suffer or fail cognitively in a number of ways. But the point in both cases is a short-lived life, to whom much is given, much is expected. Having a role model profile, you're tasked with honestly assessing your options in a given situation and adhere to your own code of ethics and conduct. So, not based on anyone else's idea of right and wrong, but being true blue to your own credo and not allowing yourself to get away with anything. Now that you're off the roof, you're just not going to get away with playing it fast and loose like you did in the good old days. Off the roof, it's a whole new world, and consequences are full contact instead of near misses and great escapes. Knowing what is the right or wrong thing to do, or what is good, middle, and bad per your own criteria, and acting accordingly. What do I mean by that? It is good to do the right thing when it's difficult or less advantageous for you. It is middle to market your services by stretching the truth of how much you can really help them when you know they would be better served by being helped by another. Notice that I said stretching the truth. If you're upfront about it and measured in letting them know, that you can help them and here's why, or you may not be able to because here's why, it stays good. When you use guile, manipulation, or hide your agenda, you're treading into some dangerous real estate that the program has no time for. As a 6, you get a peek at what's over the hill, and as such, you're held to a higher standard. In the same way that a 6 starts out living as a third line, yet doesn't have the protection that the 3 inherently has, the line 6 post-Chiron does not have protection from not living as the role model of you. In this life, line 6s, you are responsible for what you know. And as my old work friend Tracy used to say all the time, they knew better, they just didn't do better. I get double whammied on this one, because on top of my being a 4-6, I'm also a 54-4. So this advice that I'm giving you is an automatic reminder for me not to press my luck, regardless of the progress I've made in my personal evolution and self-mastery. In other words, as 6s, we don't arrive as glowing examples of role modelhood. We have a hero's trajectory, and every 6 will give you a tale of their hero's journey. It's just that some 6s don't make it past every threshold guardian they must confront to remain as viable role models. For example, beating this threshold guardian is getting beyond the survival tactics you used to need to employ in more desperate times, and before you learned what you learned and knew what you knew. This is the guardian that tells you there's a sucker born every minute. You could totally exploit this to your advantage, and they won't even notice. Wrong answer. Do better. It's really not an option to do otherwise for a 6. It's beyond risky business. You are no longer the being that used to live as a 3, who had to go through what that person had to go through. Many enlightened and awakened masters began as thieves and hooligans. That's not you now, especially not off the roof. So fuck that guy. There's more threshold guardians ahead, don't worry. You need to get past this one in order to stay a viable role model. And by viable, I mean living. Profile 6s, they either become role models of themselves and rise to the occasion, or they become role models of how not to live your life. and find those outcomes. And by role models of themselves, I'm not talking about having any other ambition or rising in the form of money, power, fame, simply talking about living as the best version that you know how to be. Without dogma, without externally conditioned morality, just what you inherently know to be good or bad. You are responsible for that shit. Okay, hope this helps. Does it really work the way I described? I don't know. Not self around and find out. Good luck, good journey, and good role modeling.